Hi everyone, sorry it's been a while since I last have posted anything. Summer has been somewhat hectic. I hope you can hear. It's an artifact of using my iPhone that it seems to, on video mode, seems to be incredibly zoomed in. So I've had to put you on a long tripod given to me by my good friend Ed, who has these things and was kind enough to pass one on to me. It's been a bit of a hectic few weeks. Quite a lot of did a gliding course that was quite full on, and my partner does a lot of scything based activities in the summer, so she's off doing stuff. When she's away, I'm looking after the kids. So yeah, not a lot's been done on the aeroplane build, but I do have quite a couple now of bike wheels to rebuild. So I bought one of these, and I thought, just as a bit of a filler, it may not be of interest to everyone, but I thought I'd do an unboxing because that seems to be the done thing, and it's quite fun. I've also managed to remember this time to obscure my address so I don't dox myself and then have to do a load of faffing around with editing software that I don't understand, as it's probably abundantly clear to obscure it. So anyway, I'll get on with it. I need to keep this on a quick one. It's 9 o'clock, just managed to get the girls to sleep, and I want beer, and I want to have it soon. The nights are drawing in. It is the 1st of September. No better time to try to restart your YouTube life. So yeah, it's darker outside already. We're back under the fluorescence. It's been a bit of a torrid time. Even my horrible workshop has become a little bit of a safe haven, so it's nice to be back. So yeah, I'm not sure how to get into this now after all that. Okay, there's some big. So this is Park Tool TS 2.2P, whatever that means. The P stands for professional, which is quite funny, really. I'm not a professional. I bought this. This was I can't remember exactly how much it was now, but I think it was sort of 250 odd English pounds. A lot of money, but there are some things where I think it's probably worth spending a bit more and getting something that works well. And also, I mean, it's generally considered to be bad form to buy expensive things if you're a novice. In some respects that's true, but in other respects I think in a way it's easier to use better tools if you don't really know what you're doing so well. So this is what I've bought. So there we are. Sue me. I'm going to build a couple of wheels with it at least. So by the time I've finished with it, I should know what I'm doing. Right. So there you go. The reassuring squeak of packaging. There's not really going to be a lot to show actually here. Right, I was expecting to have to put that together, so this is going to be quite a short video. Let's have a look. The buggers have made it for me. That's no good. That's not interesting. Let's have a look at what we've got anyway. So here we go. So this is a truing stand. It's a device. Essentially, it's a device for creating the space where a wheel should be, if that makes sense. And then you can build a wheel inside that space, and you can gauge whether or not it's the wheel is actually correctly set up. So it's really just a great big gauge. So we've got some instructions. Yeah, we won't need those. So let's take, I hope you can actually see this. You get a sticker, do you? Do you get a sticker? It looks like it's a sticker they just didn't bother to. No, it's they haven't peeled off the other side of that, so they haven't stuck it down. 1 star lost. Let's see how many stars they lose. Oh, that's a shame. And they should have, if they weren't going to, look at that. So half the sticker was stuck down, the other half they just haven't, unless I'm missing something. Yeah. So they should have just put the stickers just in loose, then you could put them on yourself, because that's the best part of anything really, is putting the stickers on it. Definitely when the plane's finished, I'm going to have some massive stickers made for it. Just checking that you can still see everything. So here you go. So that is spring loaded. So the idea with this is that you put the wheel in these forks. These kind of simulate the forks or the chain stays on your bicycle, and this kind of crab calipery thing here, when it's properly set up, should create a perfectly centered gap between these arms, and then you build your wheel and ensure that the rim isn't moving side to side or up and down relative to those jaws. Let me just see if I can find the other bits. There must be some more bits. Here we are. More lovely polystyrene. Right, so we've got a long handle thingy and a short handle thingy. Right, here we go. So I shouldn't be able to get this wrong. Right, you do get a little kind of boilerplate on it, but it's not screwed on. It's just stuck on. So you remember to stick that on anyway. That's really rubbish. Good God, 250 quid, or is it like 251 quid to have that other half stuck down? Right, okay. So I hope you can still see, right? So this thing goes in here, I think. They say put some grease on it, which I will do. I'm just going to do this quickly now for demonstration purposes. I might even be on the cusp of a little rant in a minute, that might be fun. Right, I hope I'm doing this. Am I doing this right? I don't want to break it. I should read the instructions. Apply grease to the threads of the caliper arm knob. Set up, truing wheels. Alright, it's got, yeah, so we're looking at a knob situation here. Right, so I need to pull this down a bit before I screw this in, I think. Right, the threads are basically okay, it's just I'm just chewing through the paint at the moment. So screw away, part tool. Pretty okay so far, yeah, so. Okay, and now what's that for? Presumably that's to help you, this white bit here, that's probably to help you to be able to sort of see if there's any daylight between your little calipery bits, and that's quite a nice touch in its own way. If that's what that is, maybe it's just another sticker they forgot to put on. Right, let's have another, so this bit, and I hope you can see that. I'm just trying to get this in here. So this is the bit that goes between, this is where the wheel sits. So I just got screwing my knob again. That's pretty much it. Okay. Okay, well that was fun. What I'm going to do is it's got some bolt holes here. What I'm going to do is bolt it to a piece of material that I can then clamp in my workbench vise, so that I've got a stable platform. So the idea, I'm just going to check you're still seeing what I think you're seeing. Yeah, so the idea is, so that's a weird sort of angle. If anyone's got any idea why my iPhone seems to zoom in massively when I switch it to video mode, I just don't know. there'll be a reason. So the idea with this is that a wheel should sit, this is going to be a bit awkward, the wheel should sit between these two pieces of material here. So I'm going to tighten these up. So in theory, when this is in these little V notches here, and I'm just going to, I've just got to drop this calipery bit down a bit. There we go. Quite a lot actually. That's because I'm leaning on the, right, so I'm winding this in on the bottom. That will move. I'm just going to risk moving you a little bit, you guys. Sorry. So, yeah. I might have to get you out there. Yeah. Right, sorry, I'm going to take, this is all happening in one take, right, because I just want to get something done. And okay, let me just try and do this without creating a complete, like, making everyone seasick. So you'll see that this thing here is the, you can move these in and out. And this is, in theory, these should be centered relative to these two, where's my finger gone? This is the weird thing about, there we go, wow. Right, so these two things, there we are, and these two things should be essentially on not co-planar, but they should be symmetrical about the kind of axis that runs down, the sort of plane that runs down through the wheel, if you get what I mean. So that means that when this wheel is perfectly true, there should be no movement side to side or up or down relative to these two little fingers. Right, so that's how a truing stand should work. And then the idea is you can gradually dial this in tighter and tighter and get the tolerance tighter and tighter. At the moment, it's not too bad actually. Now what I don't know is that, so what I don't know is that this truing stand is actually set up correctly. They say they calibrate it before they send it out of the factory, but they are careful to add a disclaimer that it might have been sort of kicked down some stairs on the way out of the depot. So then they require you to buy the truing stand truing tool, which presumably is just like a gauge for like £400, so that you can make sure that your little fingers are actually kind of in the right position this way, relative to the two fork things. So I'm probably not going to buy that thing. I've seen a lot of people say you can put a wheel in that you know is almost completely true, and you can flip it. If you kind of kept flipping it backwards and forwards, whatever error it has in one direction will be compensated for by the error in the other direction, and you can gradually sort of dial in your fingers to make sure that at least they look roughly right side to side. So I didn't explain that very well, but I think if you think about it, if you've got one it's slightly off, if you set it up one way and get like a millimeters clearance and then flip it, and and if you've got a millimeters clearance on the other side, then you know you're central, even though the wheel itself might be a bit wobbly. Just think about it, draw yourself a picture. So there we are. So this is the thing, this is actually the wheel I need to build, because this hub, which is from the electric bike, is absolute toast. It sounds like it's full of like square ball bearings in it. It sounds horrendous. So it needs to be stripped apart, and I don't need to have a look at it, but I suspect it's just a dispose of it job. But so I'm going to throw a new hub in this wheel. Rant. I mean, I'm just gonna. So if you look at, so this is 250 quid. 250 quid's worth of engineering, if you like, and I mean, you have to spend 250 quid to get anything close to this, but I mean, a lot of it's like pressed metal, There's a bit of welding in it. I mean, there's quite a lot to it, but you kind of think, really, £250? They haven't even stuck the other half of that sticker down. And then you look at something like this, and you kind of look at the relative amount of engineering that went into making something like this, which would be a fairly mass-produced item. But I mean, that handle was, well, I'm sure it was machine carved. I'm not even sure how these planes were made. This, I would reckon, is probably a casting. But I mean, there's a lot of different materials. There's brass, oh, that's steel, sorry. But there's that nailed ring there is brass. Lots of bits and pieces. But then it's entirely possible that this in its day was probably about 250 quid as well. In fact, it would be good to go and look at the catalogue of Stanley. Not Stanley. Is this a Stanley? That's a record. You could probably find the catalogue and see how much this costs. It'd be like sort of 8 shillings and 9.5 florins or whatever it is, and then look at a kind of inflation calculator and see how much it really is. But it's just interesting. I knew instinctively that if I spent less than a couple of hundred notes, then I wouldn't get anything that had anything that looked remotely like engineering in it, to be honest, which is quite remarkable. And this was probably still made, well, I'm not sure where it was actually manufactured. I wouldn't be, I mean, Apart Tools is an American company, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was manufactured in the Far East. So even at sort of rock bottom wages, you're still spending 250 quid to get something that is just about a piece of engineering, in my humble opinion. I mean, they're good, they're well regarded, but properly made stuff costs a lot of money. So there you go. All right, well, that's probably do actually for now. I just wanted to throw something out very quickly, mostly just for, I don't know, anyone that's remotely interested. More aircraft-y related stuff soon, I promise. Possibly a little bit of beer related stuff though before that. I'm coming up on 17 minutes and 34 seconds. Let's try and get this one done in under 18 seconds. As the night's drawing, we're going to need to, I'll probably be doing more stuff out here. The only problem is I've got to try and get stuff done before it starts to get cold. Okay, this isn't going to be 18 minutes. Because as it gets cold, I'm going to fall outside the gluing temperatures that I need for the glue to work reliably on the aircraft. Unless I insulate the workshop, but insulating the workshop means buying materials, and at the moment, because of the global geopolitical pandemic general just catastrophic failure of everything to not be rubbish, materials are incredibly expensive. So I'm not sure, I don't really fancy spending massively over the odds to get something done that frankly can wait. All of this stuff is supposed to be fun, so but I'll do my best to do what I can to get a bit more aeroplane related stuff out. Thanks for watching. Probably wasn't very interesting for most people, but I needed to do something to just get me back into the swing. So hopefully more on. We're coming up on 19 minutes and 2 seconds. All right, that will do for now. I hope you're all safe and well. Hopefully that sort of thing's going to become less of an issue as we go forward. Thanks for watching out there, and take it easy till the next one. Bye bye.